we sit there, well, I got a better arm than you. Well, I threw the ball at the stop sign last time. Well, you can throw it long, but you're not accurate. And we be sitting there with all this philosophical discussion. It's hot, sun burning, and we sitting there arguing over who gonna throw the ball. And so when we finally figure it out, we start playing the game. Ain't nobody catching the ball. Because the attention was on who's throwing the ball, not who's catching the ball. Y'all stay with me. The emphasis in unity, first of all, Paul says, you got to be humble enough to say, you know what? I don't have to throw the ball. You know what? You throw the ball. I'll catch the ball. Because if I'm catching the ball right, and you throw the ball right, we both got something to do. But if I'm arguing about who's throwing the ball, we both throw the ball, ain't nobody catching it. What do you mean, preacher? I'm saying somebody's got to catch the ball, church. Everybody can't throw the ball. And if we're honest, God didn't create everybody to throw the ball. I often have said that it is more effective trying to be the best at what I can be the best at versus being the best at who I am not. I often say, Brian, about singers, when I listen to singers all the time, I say, man, this person has this box of a gift right here. And if they would just work more on that what's in there already. Y'all ever heard somebody try to do what they couldn't do? I mean, I love these shows like American Idol. Lord, even Sunday's best, Lord, forgive me. And again, and why shouldn't I? Maybe that's not your ministry. Let's say that. Let's say that. Everybody can't throw the ball. And God didn't make everybody to throw the ball. The church may be defined by how many people can catch the ball accurately. And then who can throw it. But all of this takes place in unity. You have to be humble. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, oh neighbor, please be humble. Amen, somebody. So Paul is saying, you gotta be humble. And then he says, be gentle. Amen, somebody. Lock arms with my brother, ain't nothing wrong with locking arms. Amen, somebody. Paul says, be humble. Y'all say humble. Then Paul says, be gentle. Y'all say gentle. This is a beautiful concept that Paul has because, first of all, what he's talking about first in regards to humility is something that happens individually first. In other words, if I'm going to be unified in my own mind, in my own place, in my own space, I've got to agree with myself that I'm going to walk worthy of my calling enough to display humility. That's got to be something that's done independent of everybody else first. You got to decide before you integrate, before you decide to work on yourself in the context of the body, to first personally determine if you are humble. You got to decide to be humble. But when you finish thinking this through and you say, okay, I got to be humble, I got to start being humble, I'm going to be more humble. Paul says, be gentle. The difference with being gentle is that once my attitude is right through humility, then it comes out in my action. See, when Paul talks about being gentle, he's saying, you got to be courteous. You got to be the kind of person that's courteous. Now, what we're talking about here is you got to be willing to put other people before yourself. You got to, because we discussed it before. When your mentality is set on I and me, you can't be this here. You can't be the apple orange. Okay, the orange could not scream to the person putting his feet up, I don't want to be with that apple. I don't want to be with that apple. Okay? If you're going to be unified, you got to get to a point through humility where you can say, I'm going to consider other people, as Paul said in Philippians 2, I believe, before myself. That's called courteousness. Those interesting times have changed. I recall a time where men would open the doors for ladies. I remember went somewhere once and with some children, believe it or not. And in fact, it was my own daughter, believe it or not, because I take my baby on dates. You got to be potty trained to go on a date with me, so the third one ain't made it yet. Y'all keep her in prayer. We've only had dates with the top two. And so I take my two girls on dates, and I try to teach them through the date the way they're supposed to be treated. And so they put on whatever clothes is the case. So if we go somewhere nice to eat, they put on nice stuff. I put on nice stuff. Go to the movies, we wear something casual. And we go, and I pay for their food. Brother, say amen. Okay. Sister, say amen. Thank you. Oh, I'm getting two amen. And so, as I'm already accustomed to do, I tell them, okay, baby, we get ready to go to the movies, and I go open the door for them, and we go in and we open the door, and I want them to know what they should expect when they are courted one day. Amen. If that rascal can't open the door, you run. Because to be married, you're going to have to do a whole lot more for my babies than open doors. You can't open the door, we in trouble. Somebody say amen to help me. And so my babies are used to this. This is what they're used to. I recall we went somewhere and my children were among some other boys, and she, London got ready to go through the door, and she kind of stood there. Young man looked at her. She looked at the young man kind of like, that rascal did not move, y'all. He did not move. He said, why you ain't moving? She said, I thought you were going to open the door. Why would I open it? I said, baby, I got the door for you. Don't worry about the door. Being considerate. Realizing that everything we need is not always important than what other folk need. I recall once, do we have any Black Friday shoppers in here? I recall my mother every day after Thanksgiving would get up in the morning, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and want to catch these sales. And when I began to grow, and boys go through puberty, your shoulders broaden up and your voice drops a little bit, and sound like got a little bass in your voice. Amen, somebody. A little hair on your lip. She thought I could be an asset to her journey through these stores. I turned about 13 years old, and she said, I want you to get up with me tomorrow and go to the store. I said, all right. I eat my cereal and I'll be ready to go. She said, no, baby, you ain't going to be able to have cereal for this. She says, we're going to get up at 3:30. And I thought I heard it wrong, y'all. She said 3:30. Got up in the morning, I went with her, went to Kmart. There's already a line outside the Kmart. And I said, Mom, this is crazy. What are we doing? She said, well, they got some deals. And what I want you to do, I said, wait a minute. I want you to run. I said, run to the allotment. You know where you get your games from. I said, yes, ma'am. Go through where they got the games, and I want you to get, at the time, one of them VCRs. My kids don't even know what those are. They on sale, get the one, that's $40. I said, okay, this shouldn't be that difficult. I have no problem with running. I can just go pick this thing up and be gone. So y'all know how the thing goes. The doors open. Folks are